Hi everyone, it's Denise from Salvaged Inspirations. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today I'm sharing this $15 nightstand set that's been given a facelift with some French Floral decoupage paper from Redesign with Prima. Redesign with Prima has come out with gorgeous papers that seal and adhere with poly top coats. This is an easy way to add patterns, graphics, and character to your painted furniture. I'm also sharing a quick tip on how to blend your decoupage paper onto any color makeover. I started with these thrift store nightstand tables that I picked up for $15 a piece. They were dated, but really nice, solid, sturdy pieces. I ended up taking the doors off and I added would you bend trim to the drawer so the decoupage was actually framed. I also added a keyhole adornment, and here I am tracing it out so I can cut the tissue paper or decoupage decor paper to size to fit the front of the drawer. It was quite easy to do because it was already framed with the trim, so I just used a pencil, traced out the size I needed, and then took a pair of scissors and cut it to size along with a little hole for the keyhole adornment. So for this makeover, I used Zoe. It came in a plastic tube with 2 sheets of 19 by 30, and this was enough to cover both drawers and all 4 feet, although the back feet I did have to patchwork together a little bit. It's called tissue paper, but it's much heavier and way more textured. It feels more like maybe I would say a dryer sheet or those no-sew hem tapes if you've ever used that. Its texture is more like fabric than a paper, and you can see here that it's kind of see-through and you can see how textured it actually is. So it will not tear like tissue paper. Tissue paper you can easily tear. To cut these to size, you do need scissors, you need a razor blade, and/or if it's adhered onto something and you have an edge, you can actually use sandpaper to make sure it cuts proper at an angle. It's easy to apply and can be adhered using Mod Podge, wallpaper glue, any sort of watered down Elmer's or PVA glue, and you can also use poly top coat. So for these night tables, I use Dixie Bell's clear coat in satin. So these decoupage decor papers are very easy to apply. Once you've trimmed the paper to size, what you do is take some clear coat and apply it to your painted surface or your wood, whatever you're working with. You would apply the clear coat to the surface generously. Here I'm using a paintbrush, just a regular paintbrush, and giving a good coat of clear coat. Then you place the decoupage paper down on the wet poly, moving it into place. After it's placed perfectly, you smooth out all the bubbles and the wrinkles, and then you brush on another layer of clear coat over the top of the decoupage paper, and then you let it dry. So you have a layer of poly underneath, you have a layer of poly above on top of the paper, and this is what adheres the paper to your piece. So your paper will be totally wet with the poly underneath and above, and it fuses it to your painted furniture. Once you place it down, if you notice there's not an exact fit and you have a little overhang, you can always take your scissors, razor blade, or X-Acto knife and trim it before you put the second coat of poly on. Once the second coat of poly has been applied and it has had time to dry and the decoupage paper is totally adhered, here's a little tip to blend the decoupage paper seamlessly onto any color of painted furniture. What I did was I applied a paint wash in a matching color. As you can see, Zoe has a white background, but I used a gravel road mixed with water to create a paint wash, and I applied the wash to the paper and the painted nightstands, making sure to dab and remove any excess water with a paper towel and then let it dry. This really creates a cohesive blended look. So here's how it all turned out. I have to admit, I love the after. This Decoupage Decor paper really adds a lot of character to an otherwise plain looking piece. Feel free to follow me here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and of course over at salvagedinspirations.com, where there's over 300 plus do-it-yourself furniture painting tutorials. Thanks for watching.